Why am I doing this? Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back. Jeff Heggie, Daily Success Strategies. Thanks for being with me today. So I want to talk to you about why am I doing this? Why am I doing these on a daily basis? Why am I doing these podcasts on a regular basis? Why do I have the Jeff and Heidi show? Why do I have the Jeff Heggie show? And how does it tie into anything I'm doing? Well, first of all, if you've been with me before, you know what we're going to do right now. If you're new here, I want to just share with you how we do these things. So the Daily Success Strategies podcast, I do it 5 days a week, and Mondays I always start out asking you what your commitments are to the week so that on Friday we can look back and see if you've accomplished those things, if you've had a good week, and more importantly, are you closer to your bigger goals? So if you look at any of my programs, and even my free program, my Momentum series, the whole purpose of the Momentum series is help you to really figure out your goals and establish your clearly defined goals and understand your why and your purpose behind each one. But nothing's going to happen without action. So what we do is we look at your goals and then you reverse engineer it and say, okay, I need to do this on a monthly basis to make sure that I achieve that goal. And then that's what we're doing here is saying, okay, if you've got to accomplish that this month, what are you going to do this week to get you closer to your bigger goals? And so that's what we do. We start the week that way, and now it's Friday. So I want to know, how did you do with your goals? Did you accomplish the things you said you're going to? If not, what do you need to do to get there? And is it getting you closer to your bigger goals? So if you're watching or listening to this on social media, leave me a comment or send me a DM or email me at jeff@jeffhaggie.com. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know if you're sticking to it, and I want to know if you're really getting there, because accountability is what's going to make you take the action and get you closer to your goals. You know, you can have the best goals, you can have the best plans, but just dreaming about it, setting the goals and visualizing it isn't going to make it happen. You've got to take action. So figure those things out and let me know. I want to hear about it. Why am I doing this? Why am I on episode 326 of Daily Success Strategies? If you're new here, you probably haven't heard me talk about it a lot, but this didn't start out as something I intended to do as a podcast. It started out as a client I was working with that wanted a little bit of inspiration every day. And so I was going to send him a quick voice memo, turned into a video, turned into something I started putting on YouTube, and turned into a podcast. But besides the purpose of providing him with that content, why am I doing a daily podcast? Why do I have 2 other weekly podcasts? Well, I think for all of us, the best way to learn is from other people's stories and other people's experiences. And I believe that's why I feel today that I want to share some of those things. I'm going to, next week through these episodes, I'm going to talk about some of my other experiences that I think will be valuable learning lessons and experiences that are ongoing to today that can be lessons in business and life and whatever. But what I want to talk about today is the whole process of starting something new, and how to move forward. And what I was saying with your goals, taking action. Like it was over a couple years ago, I guess. I was going through ClickFunnels. I was going through Russell Brunson's program, One Funnel Away Challenge. I've gone through it a number of times. I think it's a great marketing program, and I'll put the link in the show notes for this, because if you want to look at a great marketing program, it's really good. And so I'll make sure that the link is there if you want to look at that. But one of the things, Steve Larson in there was teaching one of the lessons, and he talked about getting your voice. And he talked about when Russell first started his podcast, and he was doing it on a regular basis. And it wasn't until, I think it was episode 40 something, that he finally started to get his voice, started to get the following. And, you know, when he looked back, he felt that it was really terrible. And even Stephen, when he was talking about it, he went back to Russell's first podcast and he says they were terrible. But it was a learning experience for him, and it gave him an opportunity. As he produced more and more podcasts, he got better and better, but he was also helping his audience. But he also said, I look back and it could be embarrassing to look at some of those early ones, but the fact is, nobody was listening. So it was more of a practice for himself than for anyone else. Now, this is episode 326 for me. This has been going on for a long time. And I'll be honest, there's been days I'm thinking, is this having an impact? Is this worth continuing to do? I don't know if I want to continue to do this if it's not having an impact. But fortunately for me, I have had some conversations with people that I know it has had an impact, but it's also had a great impact on me. I just barely went back and looked. Episode 1, April 29th, 2020. Priorities and productivity I talked about. It actually had the most listens for that week, but it only has 48 people have listened to that. And it was probably me on my computer, me on my iPhone, me on something else, and my wife were a lot of those. So it's not the fact that I'm got 1 million downloads on episode 1, but the things I've learned from episode 1 to episode 326. 1, I have no problem getting in front of a camera and speaking. 2, I have met some of the most amazing people because of it. I remember the first time. Right now I'm inside. If you've been listening this week, we've got a bug out in Arizona right now this time of the year that it's too loud to do this outside because they buzz so loud. But I love doing this in my backyard. It started out, I always did it by my hot tub. And I remember doing an episode, and it was the first time that someone sent me some feedback on something I had said in an episode. And this is a person actually since then I've continued to build a relationship with. And it blew me away because it was Misha. She's in Pakistan. And I thought, I've got someone completely on the other side of the world listening to this. And then it was sometime later, as I was talking to my immigration lawyer up in Canada, he made a comment about one of my episodes. I thought, wow, he's listening? More recently, a friend that I've known for a number of years through the rodeo circuit, I found out she listens. And I've continued to find out different things. Today, I actually saw that someone had tagged me in a post on Instagram, and I went and looked at it. I don't know who they are, but they've got an Instagram page with a bunch of quotes in Spanish and English, and they had a quote from myself that was from one of my episodes. And so it's gratifying to know that I'm having the opportunity to get out and share these things with people. How far this goes, I don't know. I don't know how many episodes I'm going to do. I never really, when I started, intended on getting to episode 326. But the other thing it does for me is I've got to have content. It makes sure that I'm staying focused on my own personal development, on understanding the things that I want to talk about, and looking at situations I'm dealing with clients and dealing with people, and how can I learn from them and their situations that I can share with you. So why do I tell you this? Because if you've taken my Momentum series, I created that series at the beginning of the pandemic because I knew we were going to be facing a lot of chaos and people were going to lose direction in a lot of ways. But it also was an opportunity I knew was going to be there. That anytime we have a downturn in economy or the world, there's opportunities that come out of it. And I really looked at it as there's going to be opportunities that happen. And there have been. There's been people that have wanted to start jobs. They've wanted to be an entrepreneur all their life, but they didn't want to walk away from such a good job. They've got a job with benefits and a 401k or RSPs, those sort of things. And they couldn't take that step away because they had too good of a job. And then all of a sudden through the pandemic, that job disappears and it abandoned them. It walked away from them. Well, that's what I say. Life is happening for you and not to you. It's your opportunity. I've heard this saying a lot of times is turn your mess into your message. How can you take these things that have happened and create an opportunity to go do those things that you want? And so that's what I've been able to do with this, is use this platform to gain my voice, to grow my network, to meet so many of you, and to really be able to say, okay, I've got some challenges I'm facing. What do I want to do? I want to coach. I want a podcast. I want a network. And here it is. Will this one day turn into a huge podcast with a lot of listeners? I hope so. Do I have a ton right now? No, I wouldn't say it's a ton. It's more than what it started at for sure. But it is making its reach. And I appreciate the people that I've had the opportunity to meet and talk with and coach throughout this process. So what I want to encourage you to do is take those steps, take action. If you listen to my other podcasts, this week I released one on the Jeff Heggie show where I interviewed Anthony Trucks, who is amazing. He's a former NFL player, he's a coach, and he has the most amazing story of what took him from being a foster child to being adopted and the only black child in a white family, to having challenges throughout his entire life that have got him to where he is today. And he is amazing. But one of the things that he said is action ends suffering. So what are you suffering with right now? What are you dealing with right now that you need to take action? What are the things that you want to do, but you haven't, and you've just been afraid of? You've had your limiting beliefs holding you back. What do you need to take action and do? What's the worst that's going to happen? You fail? I'm going to talk about failure next week. I failed. I failed a lot. I failed small. I failed big. You've got to take action, or you're not going to be able to do the things that you're dreaming of doing, and it's not going to happen for you. So it's time to take action. So a few things. First of all, if you don't have clearly defined written out goals, please go get my free momentum series and use that to get those things figured out and to figure out your purpose and your why behind each one. Now go to jeffheggie.com/momentum for that. Next, you've heard me a lot talking about my Confident Athlete program. Please check it out, jeffheggie.com/confident athlete. It's really what initiated it was a conversation in a conference call, but a lot of it is I've seen so many athletes mentally struggling, mentally dealing with so much crap during the pandemic, from having their dreams crushed, from having their seasons canceled, all these different things, that they've lost their confidence, that they've lost their goals, their vision, everything. And that's kind of what spurred it on. But really what it is so many of these athletes have big dreams, big goals, and they put so much time and effort into their sport, but they don't focus on the mental side. And the mental side is just as important as the physical side. And so this is a program to help facilitate that, help them to understand the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, and how to get your mindset into a growth mindset to take advantage of that, how to build your confidence and sustain it, and how to deal with the mental pressures that you deal with. So jeffheggie.com/confident athlete. Now, regardless, in that or not, if you're a parent of an athlete, if you're an athlete, I want you to join my new Facebook group. The Facebook group is Become a Confident Athlete, a group for athletes and parents. Join that group. I want to share valuable information. I want to have great conversations from athletes and from parents, and just have an opportunity for people to come together and help athletes, help these youth that are needing to put things together to really live their dreams that they've had, that have been crushed over this last year by the pandemic and all the crap that's gone on with it. So The Facebook group, Become a Confident Athlete, and the program, jeffheggie.com/confident athlete. It's the Confident Athlete program. Combined with those two things I want to mention in the group and in the Facebook group and in the program, I've posted this. I have two great friends that have some incredible books that if you're an athlete, you need these. One, Tammy Matheny's book, The Confident Athlete. Outstanding book. Two, Coach Renee Lopez. Her book is Looking for a Full Ride. If you're a student athlete and you want to get to the next level, or you're a parent of one, this is a must-have book. So again, I'm going to put those in the show notes, or go to the Become a Confident Athlete Facebook group, and the links are in those, because those are must-have books that I really think that you need to grab. All right, now this is getting longer-winded than it typically is, so I'm not going to add a lot more. But the other program that I've been talking a lot about lately is similar to these. We're looking at the same thing, working on mindset, working on confidence, working on really expanding where your capabilities are, and doing that through a growth mindset and confidence and all of those things. But that's my High Achievers Mindset Secrets program. Go to mindset.jeffheggie.com to get that. Now, if you're still with me, thank you. That was a lot to go through, just a little bit at the end there. But again, 326, that's a lot of episodes. I appreciate all those that have, especially those that have been with me from day one. But I appreciate all you that are listening, and I do want to continue to grow it. So do me a huge favor and just share this with someone else. Share this with someone, ask them to listen to it, and hopefully they'll enjoy it, get a lot of value out of it, and they'll start joining our tribe as well. Thank you for being with me. Hope you have a great weekend. Normally I don't have any episodes on the weekend, but tomorrow I am going to post the full episode, the full interview with Anthony Trucks. It's a great interview. He's an amazing guy, so please listen to that. And he's got a great offer in there for his new and upcoming book. Some bonuses coming along with that, so listen to that as well. Thanks, and I'll see you on Monday.